Rams and Ravens on Monday Night Football. Let's jump straight into this thing, man. So YouTube team, keep it clean. What's going on? It's Ingraven here with another video. And in this video, we're here to talk about the game we got coming up this Monday night against the Los Angeles Rams. I think me and a lot of y'all have gotten used to saying Los Angeles Rams now. Before, it was when it was first announced and first officially changed or whatnot, it was super weird. But now I think we good to go. So Los Angeles Rams. And that is going to be quite a game. Oh, here goes another new jacket, by the way. This one is not as special as the last one, but this one is still cool too. It's simple, it's basic, like me. But anyway, and it's a hoodie. So y'all know I love my hoodies, man. And I wear my hoodies year round. Well, at least in the videos. Not outside year round, but well, right now it is a little colder in Florida. I know some of y'all like, cold in Florida? What? No, there's no way. But anyway, this is another new one. So the Ravens take on the Rams in LA this Sunday night. This Monday night, excuse me. And this is going to be quite a test, man. This is going to be presenting some different challenges. This is probably the best defensive, interior defensive lineman that we will have gone against all year. And he is great at being disruptive. Speaking about Aaron Donald. They got Aaron Donald, they got Michael Brockers, they got Dante Fowler. So they have some speed and some strength along that defensive line. And now, while Aaron Donald hasn't been having this crazy great season, he's still been very good. He's still been very good. And I think more so, not even necessarily just him not having a great season, but the Rams overall not having a great season. They, of course, it's been a little rough. What are they, like 6-4? I think something like that. 6-4. Let me check what their record is real quick. Yeah, 6-4. Okay, yeah, they're 6-4. So it's been a little bit shaky. It's been a little bit shaky for them, but they are 2 games over 500. So if they can keep that alive, that can bode well for them, especially in the NFC. Even though with the NFC, it's a much tighter race than the AFC. Or they have as of right now, they have less room for error than teams in the AFC. But anyway, you still want to be as on point as you possibly can. So Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense going against Aaron Donald, and this, I almost wanted to call him Aaron Darnold just because of Sam. But anyway, going against Aaron Donald and this Rams defense, and they are going to present some big challenges in the run game. This offensive line against their defensive line is going to be a key matchup in this game because it's going to be strength versus strength. But who's going to be stronger? Because, of course, like Aaron Donald's going to be going up against guys like Marshall Yonder. Well, first off, Matt Skura, Marshall Yonder, Bozeman, that interior offensive line. And they may move him around a little bit from here to here. Oh, I can't forget about Clay Matthews either. Clay Matthews. Oh, boy. So, yeah, this is going to be a great challenge for the Ravens and Lamar Jackson in that run game. Or just the Ravens offense, period. This is going to be a great challenge. I'm looking forward to this game even more now. Just to see where the Ravens are at. Just to see where their coaching is at. Just to see if they need to make any adjustments. We'll just see how this thing turns out, man. Oh, nice challenge. I love games where you don't know what to expect. I love it. I mean, you could really say that about any NFL game, really, but because it's any given Sunday. But this is a game where it's like, challenge accepted. I mean, they ain't got no choice because they got it. It's on their schedule. But anyway, Ravens offensive line going up against their defensive line and their pass rushers. It is going to be quite the matchup. So they're going to have to bring it. Will crowd noise be a factor? I don't know, because Ravens fans on the West Coast, they be showing out now, man. They be showing out. I know there's some of y'all from Team Keep It Clean that's gonna be going out there. I know my guy Sick Kicks Always, he's gonna be going out there, and a few other y'all too. So I know Ravens gonna be representing out there, man. They were representing out there in the Chargers game from last year like crazy. So I kind of expect the same thing too. But yeah, it's gonna have to be it's gonna be a showdown. It's gonna be a showdown. Can Lamar Jackson and that Ravens offense continue having this dominant run game? Ravens, one of their strengths, I think. Well, actually, no, because their strengths has been running it all over. I was going to say one of their strengths has been just running it up the middle, but they pitch it to the outside. They do a little bit of everything. They do a little bit of everything with the Mark Ingram, with the Gus Edwards, and also with Lamar Jackson, of course. But I think in this game, with the Rams having that brute strength up the middle, Aaron Donald, like I said, and I'm not sure who their other defensive tackle is who will be alongside Aaron Donald. But still, with them having him alone is enough to be a force. But with that defensive line, I think this game could end up seeing Justice Hill involved a little bit more, just for that speed factor. Because obviously, Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards, they can move now, but Justice Hill, he can fly. So I think this could be a game where they really get him involved a little bit more. Maybe not crazy, but they get him involved a little bit more than the usual and get him involved a little bit earlier. So we'll just see how that all works out. But they are going to want to do everything in their power to keep Lamar Jackson and that running game contained, and we'll just see how it works out. So it's up to Greg Roman and up to Lamar to make those plays on the fly, to make those adjustments if need be. We'll just see how it works out. But this game starts with the Ravens offensive line versus the Rams defensive line. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mike. I did not mean to kick you. My apologies. The secondary, they have, isn't it oh yeah, that is him, the pass interference guy from last year. Anyway, Bradley, is it Roby Coleman? I forgot his entire name. But they have him. They of course have a Jalen Ramsey. And they, of course, had a Marcus Peters, but the Rams felt like, you know what, we're going to be getting Jalen Ramsey. Marcus Peters, you can go. And they acquired a fifth-round pick in Kenny Young. A fifth-round pick in Kenny Young from the Ravens for Marcus Peters. And boy, man, it has done wonders. Marcus Peters has been absolutely amazing for the Ravens. He has been great. He has uplifted this team so much, and that is no exaggeration, and I'm not trying to rub it in Rams fans' faces. I'm just telling the truth, because he has been great for the Ravens. I know Ramsey's been good. He hasn't been as good as I know a lot of Rams fans were expecting. He's been fine, though, but when you look at the two, Marcus Peters has uplifted this team a lot more than Jalen Ramsey has uplifted the Rams. He's just made such a big difference. Such a big difference, man. Obviously the pick sixes, but beyond the pick sixes, just his coverage skills have just been so good. They've been great. Has he had a couple hiccups here and there? Yeah. But I know there was a statistic that came out last week. So before the game against the Texans and before the game against the Bears for the Rams, there was a statistic that came out comparing the two ever since the trade. And Jalen Ramsey was losing by like a long shot. But anyway, this is not to take shots at Jalen Ramsey, because I wanted Jalen Ramsey. I wanted Jalen Ramsey on the Ravens. I was like, hey, if y'all got to give up a couple first-round draft picks, do it. But Marcus Peters, them just giving up a fifth-round pick and a linebacker who they weren't even using, has paid dividends. And I don't know how good or bad, or I don't know what Kenny Young's been doing since he's been with the Rams. I haven't heard anything about him. I got to ask one of my boys who's a Rams fan. But I haven't heard anything about him at all. So that could just be that maybe because I don't hear too much, or I don't know too much detailed information about the Rams like that, or maybe because he has I just don't know. I'm naive to it. So, but that trade has worked out like crazy for the Ravens. So shout out to that, and shout out to the Rams for making that happen. Now, of course, one of the Ravens buddies, Harbaugh joked yesterday in a press conference. He said, "Oh, he had been talking. He'd been talking and hearing from Eric Weddle all season, all up until Monday. Eric Weddle, former Baltimore Raven, former Charger too, but former Baltimore Raven, and he made a big impact on this Ravens team. Just his ball skills, his knowledge, really his knowledge of the game, his experience. It paid off in a major way for the Ravens, and it just helped bring this defense together, and it allowed them to click. Defense, obviously last year, defense was a strength of this team. They're still a strength of this team now too. It just took them about 4 weeks to get everything right. Well, and then they've tinkered with stuff throughout the year. But Eric Weddle, it's gonna be something, because we're facing a familiar foe, somebody who was there through the beginning of the shift, the beginning of a new era in Baltimore. Somebody who made the claim that these ain't the same old Ravens, and they aren't even the same old Ravens from last year. They are drastically different. But Eric Weddle, knowing the Ravens firsthand, it is going to be interesting to see if they have anything from last year that he may be familiar with. Now, stuff like that, I don't really concern myself too much with it. Like, oh, he was on the team last year, maybe he may have some tricks and some trades and da-da-da-da. Like, I mean, they traded Kenny Young there, so Kenny Young's there too. I mean, guys switch teams all the time, and of course they're gonna bring over any information that they possibly can. But the Ravens could end up showing one thing, but doing something completely opposite than what they show, just to sort of trick the guy who may have been on the team before. But I don't really think that that's a big concern at all. But yeah, the Ravens going up against this secondary. How are they going to match up there? Are they going to be able to get their deep shots? Hollywood, Monday Night Football. This would be a perfect time for Hollywood to go off. I would not mind that at all. So yeah, that's Ravens offense going against the defense. The tight ends, they are definitely going to have to put in their work, as they do every single week. And that offense just they're going to have to keep it going. They're going to have to stay strong, keep it moving, and just not be afraid. Because you're going up against some household names, a lot of household names along each line of defense. Because on the defensive line, of course, Aaron Donald, excuse me. But then Clay Matthews, too, and Dante Fowler. And then you go to the next level. Well, linebackers, I mean, unless you want to throw Clay Matthews back at linebacker and Dante Fowler back at linebacker and Broncos back on the D-line. But, I mean, they got their challenges. Anyway, the pass rush can make the linebackers that much better. And then, in the secondary, you got a Jalen Ramsey. And then as safety, still in the secondary, too, you got an Eric Weddle. Who are their linebackers? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who are the Rams linebackers? Wow, that is a great question. I do not know the answer to that. The Rams linebackers, not familiar. Oh, Littleton. I think I remember Littleton. I think I remember him from a game. There was a game. Oh yeah. I forgot who they were playing up against. Was it the Saints? There was a game this year where he was in coverage and he was getting picked on bad. Was it against the Saints? I don't remember though, man. Or maybe it was last year, the NFC Championship game. His name is very familiar. Anyway, Ravens got their challenge with the Rams defense. Now, we flipping it to the Rams offense versus the Ravens defense. Jared Goff. Man, Jared Goff, it's been rough for him. Jared Goff, when he's been hot, but when he's been cold, he's been, icy. Ravens, I think they have a good chance to get a lot of pressure on this guy, man. A lot of pressure on this guy and force him into some big mistakes. I'm hearing they're supposed to be getting Brandon Cooks back this week. He's been dealing with a concussion, but with a concussion, it's like, you never know how those things are going to work out. You never know if they're going to linger. You just don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, they got Cooper Kupp. Of course, they have that tight end, Everett. And I think he's a little bit underrated. He's not a guy whose name is in the headlines like that. Of course, you got other tight ends whose name is out there like that, like a Kelsey, like a Kittle, like a Andrews. I had to throw Mark Andrews in there. But no, Everett, I think he is very underrated. The running game with Todd Gurley, this has been a down year for him. Of course, he's been a little banged up and whatnot. And he hasn't really been going off like that. He's been used sparingly. I think he only has about maybe 500 something yards. I think Lamar Jackson got more rushing yards than that. But this is definitely not a Todd Gurley hot year. But he's still, last week he did sort of find his mojo again. I think he ran for about like 97 yards, maybe a touchdown. So he's somebody that has that ability to go off at any given moment. It's just a matter of if he is going to get the touches necessary in order to go off. But Ravens, their defense, the secondary is definitely going to have to cover well, especially if Brandon Cooks comes back. That's a deep threat. That's somebody who's dangerous. He could take a short pass a distance, and he could go over top at you too. And then Cooper Kupp, same thing, man. Great hands. He's a great route runner. I expect Marlon Humphrey to be following him. Well, actually, they have given Marlon Humphrey a little leeway now since we've had Marcus Peters. Marlon Humphrey hasn't had to follow as much because they've been letting Marcus Peters cover that number one guy too, and Jimmy Smith as well. So as far as Ravens defense versus the Rams offense, I feel like the Ravens defense sort of has they have the edge in that one. When you compare the two going up against each other, because I feel like the Ravens defense is stronger than the Rams offense. Rams offense is still going to present their challenges for sure, but I feel like the Ravens defense they're a little bit stronger in that aspect of the game. Special teams, Greg Zuerlein, yikes. He was once compared to Justin Tucker. But now those comparisons are sort of yikes, going out the window. But he's still a good kicker, powerful kicker, because we moved on to special teams, and special teams is going to be something. I think this could be where DeAnthony Thomas, because he's been he's been ready, man. He's been trying to make that, and I think this could be the game where DeAnthony Thomas makes a play. And I'm not trying to get like Ravens fans all hyped. Oh yeah, but I do think this could be it. With DeAnthony Thomas and get a kick return, maybe not even for a touchdown, but he can get a big one. I think this could be the game, because now I think he'll be a little more settled in. He'll understand the different the assignments on kick returns and whatnot a little bit more, and on punt returns, more so on kick returns. But I don't want him to get a bunch of kick returns, because that would mean that the Rams scored a lot. The most kick returns I want him to get is one, just one, and that would be whichever half that the Ravens received the ball. That would mean the Rams didn't score. That's all that would mean. Or, you know what? I wouldn't mind him getting some of those safety punts. That would mean the Rams got a safety. Well, the Ravens got a safety. Anyway, I think this will be a game where he can look even better, because he'll be that much more comfortable. Justin Tucker, Sam Cook, Morgan Cox, I expect them to continue to do their thing. It would be great. It would be great if Sam Cook didn't have much work to do again for 3 weeks straight. That would be great. Do I expect it? Being realistic, no. I expect him to have at least 2 punts, but it'd be nice if he can get the week off again like he had last week and the week before, as far as the punting game, because that would mean the offense was on fire. But again, this offense is going to be a very challenging game. This should be a really good one. I think this game, I think is underestimated how good this game can really be. No, the Ravens sitting right now at 8-2, Rams sitting at 6-4, so they are 2 games apart in their schedules. But this Rams team, they still, to me, they just seem just like a tough team, man. Very tough matchup. More so on defense. I feel like they present some really big challenges on defense. But we're gonna see how it goes. And let's hope them Ravens rise up to the challenge and the Rams lay down. That'd be great. Anyway, team, keep it clean. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And shout out to JR, because this is going to be a slobber knocker. I'm out. Well, he's a fan.